welcome to part 2 of the Real Housewives of New York finale. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. If you missed part 1, go check it out. So she has to climb up all these stairs to get there. And she's basically helping her with her shoot, right? So Jessel's like, I lost my voice. I haven't even been sucking dick or anything. And you could just hear Cy and Brooklyn like, we know, Jessel. We know.
Why don't you share more? Like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you were even not sucking dick. It's like, well, now you're saying that she is having sex with her husband. So Jessel says that she basically invited Uba to... Jessel's basically trying to freeload the talents of her successful friends right now into her photo shoot of this thing that she's decided to launch on the final episode of the season. So Uba is just making some notes and everything, and they're just like working. And then they go into the bathroom. So Uba, since she's wacky, sits in the bathtub, but like her legs are out, because she's Uba. That's how she does it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, how are you, Yamor? And Jessel's like, oh, well, I haven't spoken to you, but Brynn and Jenna came over on Friday. And anyway, Brynn was telling me about all this shit that Erin and Cy are always saying about my marriage. So we see a flashback of that.
Yeah.
You know what Erin told me? She was like, oh my God, Uba asked the cutest question and went around and asked, like, how did you meet the person you love?
So it's that whole story. And Erin being like, I mean, who says that about their wife? Ugh, cackling hags. And Brynn tells her,
yeah. And Erin was like, what Parrot said was like, I like Jessel because like she lets me do what I want.
And, that whole thing, just to anybody who's forgotten.
And Jessel's like, that's exactly not what he said. And Brynn's like, well, and she was like, it's so weird that he doesn't wear a ring. And she was like, I don't know what's going on. So they're fixating on the ring thing. And then Uba's like, do they think that a wedding ring is going to stop a man from cheating? Literally, do you do this? And she takes off, she like mimes taking off the ring. And she's like, you take it off, you put it in your pocket, and voila, you do whatever the fuck you want. And you know what? Also, statistically, based off of no publication that I can say, men who wear rings get hit on more than men who don't have rings.
Yeah, and Jessel's like, okay, so they're obviously trying to poke holes in my marriage, and like, I was at the edge, but now I'm, boom, you died. No, but like, here's the edge, and then I went, boom, you fell down. Was it in bumper car? I always get in trouble in bumper car. No, I went over the edge. Oh, yeah. Where I'm from, we say, eating a popsicle.
How does that even make sense grammatically?
Hold on, I'm getting a phone call from Parrot. Hello, Parrot. No, my hand did not accrue any miles for falling off the edge. No, I'm sorry.
So Uba's like, marriages should be off limits. That's bullshit. And she's like, weak people fight like that, basically. And so Uba's like, so we're going to Brynn's birthday, so are you going to speak to them at the season finale party? And Jessel's like, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. If I dress it, it's going to be short and it's going to be sweet. And then 1, 2, 3, pinky link Jenna, special handshake, and then Jenna and I are going to go shop together, possibly have appetizers together, and talk about what a bunch of petty bitches they are.
It's like I tell my socially inept children when they're on school interviews, keep it short and keep it quick. And that's what I'm going to do with these bitches, these cackling hags with pet parrots.
Like Tom Cruise in a film, if you will. Short and quick. I could know.
He's very speedy, does his own stunts.
I could know him soon. So then we see Cy heading into, I feel like this is the most Cy shop to head into. It's like the most Cy and Sharon. The most Cy and Erin shop to head into, because it's called Abracadabra.
Yeah, they were having a chair event. It was pretty amazing. We're here for the chair event at Abracadabra. So she walks in, and it's like a costume shop, scary stuff. I wonder if it's the same shop they went to in original RHONY, where there was like a Jason Voorhees who startled, or a zombie that startled Ramona. But Cy walked in.
It's nice to see drunk Dorinda still working, because they walk in and there's a big scary mannequin like, hey, you better back it up, bitch.
Clip. clip. So Sai's like, whoa, that scared the shit out of me. Wow, I'm okay. I'm waiting for my friend. So can you do that again? And there's like a guy, like a tech guy who's like behind there, like, yeah, sure thing. He's like, I'm gonna do it again because this is literally my job. I'm just back here in this cubby waiting for customers
literally
to
the
come
guy
in.
who stands behind the door and scares people. Okay, it's Halloween.
Don't tell me how to do my job. So then Aaron comes in.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm seeing if I have a booger in my nose because I feel a booger in my nose. But
a bat in the cave, if you will.
Do I have one? Do you see one on the screen?
I don't see one.
I feel one, everybody. I'm sorry if you see one. I feel it there, but I'm not going to pick my nose because I have class. Okay, so also, Sai does that thing where she's like, oh my God, will you scare her? But then she stands right in front of the door holding her phone. So she's the first thing that you see when you walk in the door. So Aaron's like, wow, I am so scared. Whoa, what is going on? Wow.
Wow. This is frightening, which makes sense because the deals at this chair event are scary good.
So they're supposed to be wearing masks for this party, and so they go look at the mask section. And Sai's like, yeah, Brynn's having a party, Venetian mask recommended, but you know what? I've never been to a masquerade. I've always wanted to go to one. I only think of Eyes Wide Shut, though. You know, and I'm also with my swinger friends, so that makes sense. And I was like, yeah, I could totally, but what do you think about that guy? That guy making the scary stuff move from behind the door. Guy's hot, right? You think he'd fuck Abe?
Yeah, you mean Weird Science over there in the corner? Yeah, you could do them. So they're looking at some Venetian, like masquerade masks, Venetian masks, things like that. And they're just trying on things, like draining all the fun that would come from whatever fun the scene could have. They're just draining it out of it. And they're basically, they start talking about when they went to swingers. And Sai is like, I haven't seen you since the swingers debacle. Which I'm like, was there a debacle at swingers? I think you just sort of stormed off because you were hungry, if I remember. I don't know. And Sai is like, I was annoyed then, and I'm still annoyed now by Jessel. And then we cut to Jessel saying, I'm seriously so over this mean girl shit. It is mean girl shit. And Sai's like, no one's being a mean girl, you stupid bitch. You can't sit at our lunch table.
I know. I loved where she called her a stupid bitch. She's like, what? Why is she calling me a mean girl? I mean, that's mean, calling someone a mean girl. And Aaron's like, yeah, I didn't like that. Also, I heard she called me a pet parrot. Like, I didn't know that. She did? Like, why would she call me a pet parrot? I was like, I love that you two are so offended. You invite someone to dinner, you criticize them and their husband the whole dinner and their marriage and their sex life and suggest that their husband's off going for sex tourism in some other place. And you're shocked that anybody would have a problem with you. Shocked. You're the real victims here.
And Aaron is so deeply offended by literally the worst shade that we've seen on Bravo. Jess will be like, it's like your pet parrot over there. Pet parrot? She called me her pet parrot? Like, pet parrot? Like, I want to drop kick her. Really? You're that disturbed by this?
So... She wants to show like how fun she is because Erin is like the least sense of humor out of anyone on these shows, right? She's that rare real housewife with zero self-awareness. Well, no, not self-awareness, sense of humor, I'll say.
Yeah.
So because a lot of them don't have self-awareness. That's the point. But she's gonna show everybody how not affected she is by Pet Parrot by saying Pet Parrot 37 times in this episode and then literally buying a costume to dress as a pet parrot. She's not bothered, guys. Not at all.
Right.
Pet parrot.
It's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And Sai's like, and then she called me mean girl. And that's when I got up and walked away. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, that's not cool.
It's not cool. Can't believe someone called me a parrot. And so Sai does the thing where she's like,
you know what? Is that mean? No. Am I abrasive? Yes. I'm just very straightforward,
No, it's mean, when you're like suggesting that someone is going to Vietnam to fuck around on you and then mocking them publicly multiple times about how they're not fucking is mean, okay? You can be, maybe you're being honest. That's great. But it's also mean. And if Jessel thinks it's mean, that's her being honest. So why is that so bad? Well, why are we wasting time on this? I can't.
You know what?
Why am I wasting time on this?
we're all very direct and we're very honest. So it's hard for people like that. Like, and I'm going to tell you one thing. I went with Uba to bumper cars where I drove very directly on ice and we had like a good time. And so I was like, oh, that's nice, whatever. And everyone's like, yeah, it was good. But one thing I wanted to tell you, and it's not the biggest deal, but I don't know if like you want to bring it up to David, but like she was like upset that he was like, "Why are you single?" And I was like, "At least you weren't called a pet parrot or a cackling hag, so maybe you should like get some perspective, Uba." And she said, "Well, people shouldn't ask that." You know what I'm saying?
And so it's like, how could anyone be offended by David? I mean, David could hurt no one, and he loves my friends. You know what? Like, and he compliments my friends. You know, who in the world could get hurt by David? It's like, maybe the last wife. I don't
Maybe
know.
his ex-wife.
I'm only going based on rumors that I've read on the internet that I have no idea are true. But, you know, if I had to guess. So then Aaron's like, yeah, but you know what? She was offended though. And like, obviously, like it was something bad for her. So just food for thought, you know, or like if you have a cracker, that would be food for a parrot, which I'm definitely not. I mean, pet parrot.
Well, now you made me hangry. Is there oatmeal here? I want oatmeal. So basically, she's like, oh. And then she's like, listen, let me tell you something, okay? She is happy. She's in a good place. I mean, she's dating someone. And everyone's like, what? Who is she dating? She's, oh, it's none of your business. Okay, that's locked in a vault. I'm like, oh, please don't invoke the vault. No
Yeah,
more.
here comes the vault.
No more vaulting.
Here we go. And Aaron's like, wait, she didn't tell you? Are you saying she didn't tell you or she did tell you? She goes, mi amor. You know, so she showed me some photos. There was a photo there. And then we see a clip of this happening. And it was like, you're the only one I'm showing. Do not say a word. And she's like, no, I won't say a word. And Aaron's like, I just didn't, I mean, like, is it public knowledge? Is it like, who's saying it? Like, why would she tell you and not me? Like, that's crazy. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. So when did she tell you? Do you think she's got to tell me? Do you think she told me but I wasn't listening?
Yeah, so she's basically like trying to coax it out of Sai, and
I'm
Sai's
just
like,
checking my email really quick to see if it's in here. Do you think she emailed me about it? That's really weird.
listen, she just showed me a photo and said, this is someone I'm dating. And she said, please keep it between us. Okay.
Oh,
And Aaron's
WhatsApp. Are you on WhatsApp? Do you think she would send it on WhatsApp? That's crazy.
I just didn't know if it was public knowledge or not. I was like, no, it's not. And you know what? I'm even upset with myself that I said that much. Like, this is her personal business. So let's keep talking about it some more.
It's probably my Snapchat. Oh my God, I look like a baby. Have you ever used that? That is amazing. That is what I look like as a baby. This is crazy.
And then everyone's like, I'm happy for her. That's so good. But, you know, it bothers me a little bit that Sai knows that Uba's dating someone before I do. Like, considering I'm so much closer with Uba, or I had been, do we want to roll the flashback to the bumper cars for the 15th time? No. Well, like, we had a great day in Bryant Park. Like,
It's
I
so
think
weird.
we're
I don't remember my password to MySpace. Do you have yours written down anywhere? She might have messaged me there. This is just crazy. She hasn't told me, but she's told you.
Let me check Telegram.
So
4chan.
Erin is just beside herself. She cannot believe that someone told Sai something and not her, right?
Right.
So Sai's like, okay, you know what? We're going to go to this party. We're going to have fun. We're going to ignore Jessel. We're just going to have fun, okay? And while, you know, let's dress you up like a parrot. She goes, yeah. And then you can say funny things like, shut up, Jessel. And then I'll be like, shut up, Jessel. It's going to be so hilarious because she called me a pet parrot. Can you believe that? That's nuts.
Great comic plan there. So now we go to Uba. She's
Is that the
FaceTiming.
mailman? I got to go outside. I'll be back. She's trying to find any notice that Uba told her this gossip.
Hold on, I'm gonna check the skies for some skywriting real quick.
Okay, so Uba is FaceTiming her niece while she is getting ready for Brynn's party. And let's see, Aaron's apartment. She's like getting Abe ready and fixing his hair.
Putting on his top hat and his ascot. making sure making sure his tails are nice and unwrinkled.
Then Jenna is at her home with Beckett in the closet and picking clothes. And, gee, I don't know, Mom. Maybe you should pick a button-down dress shirt for the office and some kind of slacks. I don't know. It's like trying to find Marge Simpson an outfit. It's the same outfit. It's the same.
I know. But again, I still love the way that Jenna just so like effortlessly. I don't think it's a humble brag, but the way she does effortlessly flex. She's like, I mean, I could wear this one. I mean, I wore this to the Met Ball a few years ago. It's like no one in this cast is going to the Met Ball except for Jenna. No one on any of the Real Housewives.
So Jenna, because every scene she has to like name drop somebody that she know. You know, like, oh my God, Naomi Campbell wants my eyelashes. Well, I did wear this to the Met once. Future Sonia, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be cray cray in the future.
Yeah. So Beckett's like trying to dress her, and he's like, I don't know about that, Mom. That's like wacky. She's like, wacky? It's like Celine. I love you. So then we see Jessel, and she's with Pavitt, and she's like, I don't know how I'm going to do a party. And not talk. It's like I have zero voice. Just sort of like you in this relationship. And like, do you think I sound kind of sexy though? This is my voice now. I'm still sick, Pavitt.
He's like, do I have to answer that? And she's like, Pavitt, I mean, I leave for an hour and this place like blew up. There's toys everywhere. Oh God, my body's shutting down. I might call my sister. I might need a kidney that knows an Obama. All right, it's passed. I feel much better now, actually. I don't want to hang around these bitches tonight. They're so mean to me, you know? And he's like, yeah, what about Erin? She goes, yeah, I mean, she does not get to talk about my marriage. Like, she can literally sit there in her sad Tribeca corner and fixate on our lives.
I love that sad Tribeca corner.
No matter what anybody says, I believe her on this. And I'm going to stick with Jessel on this Soho thing because this Tribeca thing, which is similar. So even Erin was bothered by it, that she got made fun of for living there because by the episode end, we find out that Erin has moved out of the neighborhood. So
to be closer to her kids' school. So she's like, good for you. She's fucking obsessed. It's like Eminem Stan. Do you remember? That's a current reference I made. That song was big when I was living with Uncle Nittins. Oh, I loved Eminem. Remember Dido? God, I love that. What a great reference. She's like Eminem featuring Dido sampling Thank You. Well, she's like a crazy lunatic. She's a fucking parrot. A parrot with no brain. A zombie parrot that wants to eat other parrots. She doesn't have the capacity to think for herself. Tell me when I should stop, Pavitt. Am I making my point clear?
He's like, should I just like walk in with like 10 rings on my hand or something? Do you think that they would like that? And she goes, oh no, you don't need to make a fucking statement about it, all right? They're just obsessed with me. I just can't imagine focusing this much on people's lives.
I love Jessel for both invoking Eminem and then invoking Mariah Carey's response to Eminem song. That takes a lot of skill to do that in like one breath. Why you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know. Pop it.
I just wanted to pop into this scene just to I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be interrupting. I just wanted to. I've worked with them both. So okay, go back. Roll. Keep rolling.
I'm sending some lashes now to Mariah Carey and also to Eminem to bring them back together.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Watch What Crappens and Winter is Crappening are the funniest recap podcasts. But if you want something more eerie, try the new podcast Ghost Story about my investigation into a murder-suicide in my own family. Ghosts aren't real. At least that's what I've always believed. Sure, odd things happen in my childhood bedroom, but ultimately, I shrugged it all off. That is, until a couple of years ago when I discovered that every subsequent occupant of that house is convinced they've experienced something inexplicable too, including the most recent inhabitant who says she was visited at night by the ghost of a faceless woman. It just so happens that the alleged ghost haunting my childhood room might just be my wife's great-grandmother, who was murdered in the house next door by 2 gunshots to the face. Ghost Story, a podcast about family secrets, overwhelming coincidence, and the things that come back to haunt us. Follow Ghost Story wherever you get your podcasts. Listen everywhere on October 23rd, or you can binge early and ad-free on Wondery Plus the same day.
So Pavet's like, okay. Well, he tells us, I mean, I'm not sure why they're causing issues. Are they projecting their shitty marriages onto us? Probably. And he's like, so how are you feeling about Sai? She goes, I don't even care. You know, it could go one of two ways, I think. Like, depending on how I feel, I might say a quick few words to her, or I might just completely ignore them, or I might hug and kiss them, or I might turn my list about them into what do you call that? A checklist, you know, where you can actually put the little dots to check on. When I'm done thinking about that, I check it and moves to the bottom of the list. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this yet, Pav.
Maybe I'll just walk up to Erin and say, you better lose yourself in the music, the moment. You better never let it go. You know, something like that. I don't know. I'm just a really big Eminem person.
And if you don't, you can burn alive in a bed. Oh, wait. Sorry. Shouldn't have brought the Rihanna song into this. All right, it's getting a little dark, isn't it?
Boom. Oh, I wish I remember the way that song went.
How does that?
I just. Why are you so obsessed with me? Boy, I want to know. You're doing photo shoots with my sister Jenna and me.
Love the way you lie. How does it go?
Oh, you know, Parvit is leaving toys out. But that's okay, 'cause I can trip on balls, apparently.
You're going to stand there and watch me burn. Da 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 da, and that's the way I learn. Whatever that song was, I used to love that song. I used to be obsessed with it, and I would like go do my daily walks back in the day when I did that shit. I would do it, and it would always be on my playlist. And then one day, I just started listening to the lyrics, and I was like, "What the fuck is this song? This is the darkest shit I've ever heard." And I thought it was such a beautiful song until then. I don't listen to lyrics.
I'm Slim Jessel, yes, the only Slim Jessel, the only Slim Jessel.
I mean, Erin does live in 8 Mile from anything decent. That's for sure.
I mean, even people in Tribeca. I mean, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just going to shut up before I offend people in Tribeca and offend people in Detroit.
Okay, so now we go to Brynn's birthday party, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's so cute, you guys!" And it is a decorated restaurant. It's very pretty, balloons everywhere, and she has done this party in cheese. The whole thing is cheese. It's a giant charcuterie board, which is perfect because this season began with a cheese fight, and it is going to end with a fight around cheese. So I liked that for a bookend.
Yeah. A rare bookend. So Sai and David arrive, and they're all like, "Oh, hi." They're like, "Oh, you look great. You look great." And you know, they're talking about the masks and everything. And Sai's showing her mask. Her mask is like, it's sort of like a balaclava a little bit. I don't know. And Brynn's like, you look like McDonald's bandit. I'm like, the hamburger burglar. He has a name. Excuse me. And yeah, it looks a little weird.
Yeah. And Sai's like, yeah, you know what? I'll steal your fries if you got some. I mean, a girl's hungry. Am I right?
Okay. I need Mayor McCheese to sign some legislation to ban Sai from parties, because she's really just such a downer at this point.
So then we get people arriving all over the place. Hugs, you look great. You want to take some selfies? Let's take some selfies. And so Abe and Brynn are talking, and she's doing her flirt thing because she does not give a fuck at this point. She's like, she's going to flirt with Abe.
Yeah.
And
after everything.
Yeah.
After everything that happened at that party.
Huh?
After everything that happened at that freaking vow renewal party, now she's going up to Abe like, "You guys are hot. I want to hang out with you guys."
So I thought at the beginning of the season, when she said her opening line, which is like, "I'm cool. I'm a cool girl, but make me mad, I'll date your dad," whatever her thing is, but it was, "I'll date your dad." I thought that she was going to be flirting with Aaron's dad at some point, and Aaron was going to get upset over it, but that didn't even happen. That's just a random line. "Make me mad and I'll date your dad."
It's like strange. I think it was like they were, I think that was the producers trying to rope-a-dope us into thinking there'd be something interesting happening this season.
Oh,
So
it worked. It worked. I mean, I've been waiting this whole time to find out what it was, and it turned out not to be a thing.
She didn't flirt with anyone's dad.
Crazy.
So she's like, yeah, hey guys, like, the only reason I'm friends with your wives is because I get to try to get to you guys.
Yeah. And David's like, yeah, she loves to hang out with us because we got like eligible friends, right? But you know what? Sorry, all my friends are happily married. And Abe's like, you're useless, but mine are all married too. So, so then Uba comes in and more hugs and all that good stuff. And then Jenna comes with her friend. Dun, dun, dun.
Sarah. Her name is Sarah, and they're the only ones wearing masks because, of course, Brynn has some sort of like masquerade party where no one wears masks, and nothing about the party suggests that it's a masquerade. It's just white balloons. So Jenna's like, okay, great, and then Brynn's like annoyed, not like faux annoyed that Jenna brought Sarah because she goes, the invite clearly states that you must bring a person who A, you either last had sex with, or B, you want to have sex with that evening. So Jenna, which one is it? And more importantly, where do I fit into this three-equation?
She's like doing like the three with her hands fucking.
It's time to now, but this is the moment where you need the hook to come out and just drag Brynn off stage.
We got it. Size hungry, Brynn's horny. So she's like,
I didn't bring a plus one.
and Jenna's like, well, what do you want? Do you want a kiss, my love? Okay, just one little kiss.
More.
So they kiss, and then she's like,
I'm the next Miss Jenna Lyons. It's not gonna happen whether she likes it or not.
I'm like, can we please go back to the tree scene? I'm actually pining for the tree scene. Pun intended. So then David
don't
pulls
be a
Uba.
birch.
Birch, please. So David, who's Sai's husband, for those who have blocked it out of their brains, he pulls Uba to the side and he's like, you know what? When I first met you, I was blown away by you, and I think, you're a spectacular woman. And I made a comment that is probably not the best comment to make. Like, why don't you have a man yet? But like, I want you to know where I was coming from. I was trying in my wrong way to make you feel shitty about the fact that you've achieved all these things and you still can't get the love of a man. God, that must suck for you.
I didn't want to make you feel like an object. All right. I just wanted you to see that, like, you're like the most gorgeous Benz on the block and no one's driving you. You know what I mean? That's probably not a good way to say it, huh?
I mean, your profession is model, as in, like, you are the model. Like, this is what one should want. And yet, no one wants you. What's up with that? That's all I was trying to say.
So it's like, and I don't think that a woman needs a man on their arm to be successful. Okay.
And she's like, okay, let's make this a teachable moment around a bush. And he's like, okay. So she's like, it was just the wrong question. And anyway, I do have someone, and he's hot.
And
Does she say that to him? Wait, no, maybe she doesn't.
No, but I think that
Doesn't she?
I think
oh,
it's
yeah,
implied.
she does. She says, and by the way, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I was like, no, let him stick with the you don't need a man to be happy. Don't assure him that you do have a man by the end of it. So just
don't
where's
be
the
like,
whole
"Don't worry."
apology. Just take the apology. He owed it to all of us.
So then they're looking around. They're like, is Jessel here? They're like all like, they're ready to like pounce on her because that's all that they have to do. And they're like, and Sai's like, I don't see her. And Brynn's like, so if she were here, like, would you see her? I don't think so. But then Jessel and Pavitt enter the party, and they're like, oh. So then Sai's like, well, Jessel's always going to be late, okay? She's always going to be late. Remember when she was like 45 minutes late to me, even though I was 20 minutes late to our initial time as well. So really I only waited for 14 minutes. But remember?
She's like,
I can take Jessel in a group setting. It's just one-on-one. It's not my jam.
so Brynn's like, hey, and Jessel comes in, hugging everybody and saying hello. And then she gets to Aaron and Sai, and she's like, hello. And they're like, hello. And then she walks off. She says hello. I mean, what the
She
hell?
just says hello and goes, hi, and then walks away, which is great. So then Aaron's
Wait,
like,
no warm hug? Like, no hug, no warm hello? Like, what is wrong with her? Oh my God, pet parrot, cackling hags.
do you not remember the wreath making party and how you behaved there, Aaron? Hello. So I was like, who cares? You know what? I'm gonna get some cheese. You know how much I love cheese. Call back just to episode 1, remember?
Also trying to pretend she's not bothered, and they're so bothered. It's so funny.
So bothered.
So Sai's like, I think she's starting out on the right foot. She's ignoring me, and that's exactly what I want. I love being ignored. We're like, okay.
Congrats.
Go show us how not angry you are the rest of the night. This will be fun.
I'm glad you like being ignored because I have a feeling that's probably how the American public feels about you right now, what they want to do. So Erin, of course, goes to Abe and she's like, she didn't even say hi to me. Like, what do I do? My favorite thing is to be ignored. Sorry, parrot mode.
And he's like, well, you can say hi to her. Why don't you do that? And she's like, and so I was like, excuse me, you know what? Can you move? I want some cheese. Okay. You all know how I feel about cheese. Okay. So then Erin goes to Jessel. She's like, hi, Jessel. You didn't say hi to me. She's like, oh, hi. What's up? Are you okay? She goes, yeah. Are you okay? She goes, yeah. I mean, I'm just surprised that you didn't say hi to me. She's like, I did say hi. What do you want? Do you want a fucking fireworks show? She did say hi. It's on camera of her saying hello.
And Aaron's like, well, not really. So Jessel goes, okay, well, I hear that you're saying all this stuff about my husband, like he doesn't wear a ring, and then he goes to Vietnam, and then there's something off with that. And Aaron goes, no, it's not true. All I do say is what I think. Constantly. It's what I think. All I say is what I think. I'm not a parrot. So just like, listen, I'm not dealing with this, Erin. All I'm saying is Brynn told me stuff that you were saying about my husband. And just an FYI, like I heard that, by the way, Sai, because you're here now, you don't like me. So like, you know what, let's just like pretend, like we don't have to, you guys can stay in your Tribeca corner and I'll stay in my Tom Cruise corner. And that's just the way it'll be.
And it's so funny how she says, I mean, come on, I only say things I think. Is that supposed to make it better? Like, she's saying you hurt her feelings. She's like, I only said that because I totally believe it. Your husband's going to Vietnam for sex tourism. And wears his wedding ring, doesn't wear his wedding ring because he's probably cheating on you. I just said it because I meant it. Oh, okay, let's be best friends then. That makes it much better. So Sai's like, no, listen, it's not that I don't like you. I just don't want to be best friends with you. Yeah, so go away. Then why does she have to come kiss your ass all night? You don't like her. She's returning the favor. So fuck off, you two.
Yeah. So and Jessel's like basically says that like, good. Like the last thing I want to do is sit here and braid hair and paint each other's nails. So they're all just like, okay, so we're good, perfect. And Sai's like, I never said we weren't good. Oh, you got her.
You literally did. Then you called her a fucking bitch and walked off last time you saw her in front of everybody after you were telling everyone. Can't with these. I can't. So Jess was like, okay, let's just get a shot. Shall we just do a shot then? So now Sai is talking to Jenna at a different bar, and she's like, oh, I already had a dirty martini. That's too much alcohol for me. Yeah, two drink maximum for me. And then Erin is at a different bar with Jessel talking.
Yeah.
And
by the way, if she has another martini, the big fear is that she might actually acquire a personality.
Yeah. What's going to happen? Are you going to get rude? That would be terrible.
You're going to say something interesting?
That would be terrible. So Erin's like, I truly feel like I have tried with you lately. I mean, to be nice and like, I mean, okay, like I've heard horrible things, but that doesn't make me lash out like it does you. What are you talking about? She didn't say anything to you except hello with a smile, and you're turning it into some horrible thing like she beat you on the street. She didn't say anything about you. She didn't say anything about your marriage. She didn't say anything about you. All she's done is been kind to you. And you've talked shit nonstop and are now trying to be a victim here somehow. This lady's actually pretty amazing. I have to hand it to her.
Erin's like, I mean, I've heard you have a whole notepad filled with shit about me. I'm like, she has a notepad so she can remember it because you do so much shit and that you can't mentally keep it in your head. And also maybe she just doesn't have that like deep skill that you have of remembering every single stupid affront to your life.
Exactly.
Erin.
You're just better at memorizing, things that people have done to you. Some of us need to write it down. Okay.
Yeah. So then Erin's like, and by the way, to call me a pet parrot multiple times is, first of all, ridiculous. Okay. I'm like, Erin, why is this lady on TV? If she can't handle the term pet parrot, how is she going to deal with all of us podcasters and everyone on Instagram? Because it just gets so. This is the opposite of the human rights campaign. It gets way worse. It gets way worse when it comes to shade.
So Brynn comes over and she's like, oh, guys, don't fight, guys, don't fight. Don't worry, I'm here to make sure that when you don't fight, I will start another fight so that everybody keeps fighting. So Erin's like, why are you putting me aside? Like, she's my friend, but like, I'm not like, we're not the same person, okay? Pet parrot. And Jenna's like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm missing out on drama. I mean, it's so crazy. I see it, but I'm seeing it through these gorgeous lashes that are just the perfect weight. They just totally feel natural, and you can get them online currently.
This is the only kind of lashing out that I approve of. So Jessel is like, every time we get into an altercation, it's you two. That's why I always lump you two together. And Erin's like, what are you talking about? Like at Swingers, I was with Uba the entire time. Like, why I don't get it. And she's like, well, I was mad at both of you. That's why I said it. And Brynn is like, so Jessel, I think the problem is that you're like not mad enough. So now Brynn is policing the way Jessel is expressing herself. I mean, I feel like Jessel has put up some boundaries and they're like, it's clearly working because Erin and Sai are fully rattled by the fact that Jessel was like, I'm not going to pay these two girls dust. I'm just going to say hi and move on. And now they're losing their minds over it.
Yeah. And Jessel's like, I don't need to fight with anyone. Brynn's like, but what about your integrity? And she goes, okay, I'm not going to get at the point where I scream at someone, okay? And I'm not going to put you down either. And Erin's like, yeah, me neither. I'm just going to suggest that your husband cheats on you constantly and won't wear his wedding ring even around you because he's always looking for ass.
I do.
Sorry, I just say what I think.
I do like Erin hating being called a pet parrot. And then when Jessel says, I'm never going to put you down either. Me neither.
Yeah. She does it. That's how Erin argues. She just repeats back the last thing she heard.
Does.
So Brynn's like,
yeah, but like nobody is seeing. Like you think you're standing up for yourself, but you're like, if you stand up for yourself, you're being ratchet. And that's not the truth. Like there's a way to do it.
And Erin's like, yeah, but calling me a parrot is not nice.
Literally a beautiful bird that people pay thousands of dollars for. So Brynn is like, she's like, I've stuck up for myself and taken care of myself since I was younger than I was younger with Jessel. And like, I think like maybe she's like literally incapable of doing it. I'm like, I don't like, I feel like Brynn trying to insert this late season thing about like Jessel standing up for herself is just not really it's just not taking flight. Let's just save it for
right.
next
The
season.
reason the girls have a problem with her is because she was standing up for herself and told them to fuck off. That's why they're all like, they're literally following her around like, oh my God, why won't you talk to me? Why won't you talk to me? So I don't think she's doing anything wrong here. Brynn's a dodo bird. And she's like,
I've told her ad nauseum. Stick it to these bitches and you'll get respect.
Which is true, and that's what we said about Sai too. There's people like Sai, which you don't try to make those people like you. And now that Jessel didn't, look what Sai does,
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
mind.
let's just be friends.
So then
You're gonna call me a bitch back, then let's just be friends. I don't need that. Okay, I need a punching bag.
So Brynn gathers everyone around. She goes, okay, so guys, what I want to do with this very Venetian masquerade is, it's like a new year for me. It's like new year, new you. And I think like, this is going to sound like effing crazy. And I promise I did this at my yoga teacher training because there's a whisper of a job that I had. Let's just go around and like, it can be like personal, but like, it could be someone else. Like if like air your grievance. And we just leave it there. She doesn't even come up with like, what's your rose and thorn? She's like, air your grievance.
Yeah.
Fine.
Happy birthday, air your grievance.
And this game is super fun. It's called just hurt each other's feelings and fight.
And Erin's like, great fucking game, Brynn. Okay. And she's like,
It's her
okay,
birthday
well,
rush.
it's my birthday, and I feel like because you both told me all of this shit, like you, Erin, and Jessel, like, just figure it out here. Let's just end it here.
And so Brynn's like, yeah, okay, so here's what I'm thinking about. Aaron Grievance's I'll start. Pavitt, I was a little thrown off when we were sitting with Jenna and you called Cy bipolar. I was like, oh, come on. This is so ridiculous and messy.
Yeah. And Aaron's like, that is so fucked up that I wasn't there, so I could have blown this up before Brynn. So then Pavitt's like, I didn't mean that. And so Brynn's like, yeah, you took it back. You took it back. And then you were like, yo. Like, you were like, hey. And then Jen and I looked at each other. And then Justin was like, you don't want to do that because he didn't mean that at all. And he's just like, oh, he didn't mean that. And then Sai's like, I'm definitely not bipolar. And it's like very offensive considering my mother was bipolar. So I don't think we should be going around claiming people have a mental illness when they don't have it. I'm like, or maybe just saying don't use mental illness as like a source of shaming. I think because she's still shaming it. She's like, Saya's like, don't say that I have a mental illness when I don't have it because that's fucked up. Like, just don't shame it in general. How about that?
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
And then Pavitt's Brynn goes, however, then I said, take it back, Pavitt. And he goes, okay. And then he said, on record, hand on heart, I take it back. And then he goes, she's just a fucking bitch. It's like, whoa. Did he say that? Because they didn't show that.
He might have. I don't remember, shockingly.
They didn't they didn't show that on TV. Yikes, Pavitt. No. Yikes.
So then Pavitt in the confessional goes, did I call Sai a bitch? Probably. And if I did, she's a bitch. It's like, well, okay. Can't fight that logic.
Yeah, no, not good. So I lost my place.
So Sai goes, she goes, don't confuse being a bitch with being honest. I'm straightforward with your wife, and she lies, and she says things that don't make sense to me, okay? And guess what? I need a lot of sense, because guess what? I had negative $470 when I was 20. That's minus 470,000 cents.
Hold on. I got lost. I'm sorry. I accidentally pressed page up.
Oh, no. Well, I'll just keep on talking. So Jessel's like, what am I lying about? You lie all the time. You have so many white lies. They just kind of flicker away. Everything you say, the Vietnam thing, for example. Remember Vietnam when you gave us a vague time frame for when Pavitt was going to go, and it turns out that vague time frame wasn't totally accurate? That was such a white lie. Why would you do that to us?
She's like I didn't lie about that. And then we see the clip of her being like, well, I'm glad that we did our staycation thing before he went to Vietnam because he's going to go in a couple. You said he was going to go in a couple weeks and he said he didn't have a date. And he's like, but I did have a date. But then the date, I bought the ticket, but then that date wasn't open. So I couldn't go the day that I want. It's like, oh my God, what are you trying to say? Just say what you're trying to say here. Just accuse him of what you're trying to accuse him of. You guys just make yourselves look wrong. Don't be a wuss about it,
Yeah. And she's like, well, she said you had a date. He goes, I had a date February 9th and the flight didn't open and that's gone now. It changes now. So then Uber's like, can you explain to me why any of this is important? And everyone's like, because it's lie after lie after lie. Like what Sai said. I'm not a parrot. I'm not a parrot.
And it's not a lie. Again, it's like no matter how many times you tell them, it makes total sense to everybody else. But to them, it's like, what a lie. She got caught again. There she is. And so Pavitt's like, oh my God, can we just get some food? And Jessel's like, everybody shut the fuck up. I'm just bored with this. I'm going to find my husband now. And Sai's like, well, I'm going to go get my pet Parrot. Like to set up their hilarious joke.
I know. So then, so then the guys, of course, retreat to their own little circle where the guys can talk about how they're guys and they get over things easily, and because that's what guys do. And aren't women crazy? So then Aaron and Sai go to the corner and they're like working. They're like doing something. They're up to some sort of silliness.
Do their costume change.
Yeah.
And so Aaron's like, you're gonna want to see this. You're gonna want to see this. Okay, Aaron. Jessel's gonna want to see this. And so Jessel is joining David and Pavitt at the bar, and she's like, "Can you get your wife to like me? I don't know what the hell is wrong with her." And David, who seems like he's been in this position many times, is like, "No, she doesn't dislike you. You know what she says to me? You're an amazing person. She just wants you to open up a little bit. That's it." Like, oh God, just walking around apologizing for Sai, pissing everybody off constantly.
Well, it's so hard for me to open up sometimes. It's difficult, when you're in the public eye for so long and so many fans and, you do your own stunts. I'm sorry, I'm just rehearsing what I'm going to say to Tom Cruise just so we can relate to each other a little bit.
Not only being extremely famous in my world, but having a sister who's extremely famous in our world as well. It just takes you to a different place.
It's just, I want to say it's strange being at these heights of stardom, but we don't use the height word with Tom. So I'm going to workshop that a little bit.
David's like, you know what the only thing Sai ever said to me about you? I just want to know about Jessel.
Bullshit. She does. Bullshit.
Literally, she's never said that. This is the only thing that she said. Can you pass me the scissors? I got a box to open.
You know how I would want to know about Jessel? If she was made out of some kind of bread with cheese in it, because I'm starving. All right. So Sai's like, yeah, I was saying, I just want to know about you. And so Jessel's like, yeah, okay. And Brynn's like, you're like cackling hags, and I heard you called someone a pet parrot. And so Sai brings Aaron out dressed in the parrot mask and the feather boa. And Jessel's like, oh my God, this is kind of fucking amazing. So
It's literally not.
hilarious.
They're all trying to sell us on this parrot thing that's not amazing. It's like not even a good parrot costume. It's just like a feathery mask with like a rainbow boa. And Jenna's like, I don't know what happened. I'm like obsessed with the pet parrot. Like it was the best Aaron move ever. It was brilliant. Well, it could have been slightly more brilliant if that parrot had lashes. So luckily I have my love scene here just to fix that costume a little bit. Thanks.
And Jessel's like, this is a great sign that Aaron actually has a sense of humor. It's like, really?
Is it?
Still not getting that, personally. And
Yeah.
Aaron's dancing around going, look, I'm a pet parrot. I'm a pet parrot. Say something. I'm gonna repeat it. It's gonna be hilarious. So then David's like, what all this proves? How much smarter Jenna is than all of us. That's what this proves, right? That's what this proves, right? And Jenna's like, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, they're just, they're fearless, and I'm not fearless. But like, I mean, I don't know. I'm like not fearless, but I also know the president of.
Cutter.
Sorry, everywhere I'm
So
trying
David's
to think
like-
of, it's not good. It's like, why are you saying that?
Bhutan. So then David's like, he's like, are you kidding me? You got to the height you got to, knowing the president of Mongolia by not being fearless.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the president of anywhere. I mean, that's how ignorant I am. Sometimes I really, my lack of education really catches up with me. I'm like, the president of, I literally can't think. You can't say Bank of America. You know what I mean? Like, not one thing, Ronnie. Not one president. Come on.
I'm just going for countries. You're going for corporations.
I know. I could have been like the PTA. Why can't you say that? Like, there are so many presidents. God, I'm just so disappointed in me.
Well, he's like, you didn't get there by not being fearless. I think you're selling yourself short. I'm like, okay, this guy has to stop. I think he has to stop talking to people about themselves. Like, I know he's trying to boost them up, but I feel like every time he does it, it's just one of those things.
He
where,
comes off as very inauthentic.
well, it just comes off as like, you don't know me, so stop, but stop trying to tell me about me because you don't know me,
Yeah, so they talk about, oh my God, Sai loves you. You're so lucky that Sai loves you so much. And she's like, oh yeah, I love Sai too. And so then Brynn's cake comes out. Well, actually, Jenna makes one good point here. She's like, like it is hard sometimes to open up, but a lot of times it depends on the landing pad, because like you're not going to open up and then have a hard landing. Like you want to open up and have a soft landing, which is why I started selling landing pads. Actual pads that you confront people while you lie on them. So
that's why I have to fly business class because it's just a softer landing at the front of the plane. So now this cake comes out. It's a Nancy Drew book, which is pretty cool. And then there's like sparklers and there's balloons and then they're waving balloons and the balloons are popping. And then Brynn has a meltdown, like a mini meltdown where she's like, no, it's helium. No, I was organic chemistry. You can't do that. Helium. Hold on. Oh my God. I forgot that I showed my true personality for a moment. I'm back to flirting.
So she's like, this is literally my dream scenario. I just want the husbands and the boyfriends. Like, it should just be me and the guys this birthday, because they're all helping her cut the cake. And someone's like, God, if Brynn could just get slapped with every dick in here, that would be a dream for her.
Literally, that's literally what Jessel says. So, yeah, she makes a. And then, of course, when she is cutting the cake, she's like, "This is like a hand job." So, so now they're eating the cake, and Sai, Aaron, and Jessel are sitting together eating the cake. And Sai's like, let's just get over it. Okay, I think we should all get over it. Like, you know what, Jessel, you make me sick, and sometimes I don't like you, and by sometimes I mean literally every single minute of every single day for the rest of my life.
Yeah, because she has nowhere to go with this, right? She's just going to lose every time she tries. So she just gives up. She's like, okay, let's make up. Jessel's like, okay. And then we see Uba talking on the phone, and she's like, I'm going to call you in 20 minutes, but all is good, okay? And so Brynn goes, Uba, I heard that you have a man in Connecticut. And it's like, John. And the lady's like, oh my God, Brynn, you can't say that.
Connecticut? You can't talk about Connecticut. This is a New York show.
And Uba's like, what? What is Connecticut? Which, okay, Uba. All right. And so we see proof that she knows what Connecticut is, where she's like, I leave town every weekend. I go to upstate. I go to Connecticut.
Like, I don't know if we needed a flashback to prove that she knows where Connecticut. I trust that she knows where Connecticut is.
Right. But
so
it's just when she goes, what? What's that? That couldn't be true because I don't even know what Connecticut is. I guess you do.
Sai's like, Brynn, that was fucked up, Brynn. And Brynn's like, no, it wasn't. And then Aaron tells us the sordid backstory. After the costume shop, Sai and I took Brynn out for her birthday, and we went to her favorite place, Casa Cipriani, and we were talking for a while. We made this decision. We all looked at each other and we said, circle of trust. And that's when Sai said, okay, Uba has a boyfriend. She told us where he lived, what he does. So you can understand my shock when I hear the first thing out of Brynn's mouth is Connecticut. It's a violation of the circle of Casa Cipriani trust.
Yeah, why is anybody surprised? Brynn does this every episode. Why?
Yeah.
So everybody leaves pissed eventually. Uba's like, okay, whatever. She whispers in her ear, she says, if you mention Connecticut, I'm going to circumcise you. And she's like, this whole thing was supposed to be confidential, and I know she heard it from Sai, but she doesn't even deserve a birthday. And Brynn's like, Sai started it. And she goes, okay, love ya, bye.
And so then Brynn is like, Brynn's kind of like, hey, stop. Don't freak the fuck out about this.
And Which again, she's not freaking out. She's just like, not cool. I'm out of here. See ya.
Yeah. So then Jenna's like, is she actually leaving? I mean, she made a stink that she's dating someone. Is that what we're really talking about? Because she was supposed to talk about my lashes for a little bit on camera. So basically, Jenna's talking about how being exposed for your romantic life puts you in a really vulnerable position.
Hi guys, you're on a television show. What has Uba done this season? Not much. So
no.
She's going to need to open up. And same for Jenna, not wanting to talk about who she's dating and all. What the fuck what do you guys think you're doing for a living right now? Okay.
Exactly.
You're on television. You're on a reality show.
And so Sai is like, so Uba's like, so how does she know that I was dating someone? And Sai's like, well, I never said where. I said, it's not my business. It's no one's business. I don't know. And I don't know where. And then she's like, so then how does she know that? She goes, Sai's like, I swear to God, that's what I said. So Sai is now, after all this, Sai is being the biggest liar of all.
Yep. So Sai's like, well, there's a difference because me telling about Uba dating someone on camera, that was an accident. I told her and I instantly regretted it. But me telling Brynn, all right, that's bad. I spilled the beans. I was drinking, but I asked her specifically, please do not say anything. Oh, really? When Uba asked specifically, do not say anything? Come
exactly.
on.
So Brynn is like, you told me she was dating someone in Connecticut, and Sai starts yelling. She's like, I never told you Connecticut. And Brynn's like, yes, you did. Geotag or something. And she goes, and if I did say it, that is fucked up. But that is fucked up. That is someone's personal business that I was gossiping about. And I said it. And if I said it, I definitely didn't say that on camera.
So now she's screaming at Brynn, which is hilarious. And Brynn's like, Sigh, I mean, how would I know? How would I even know the information if you didn't tell me? And she's like, that is her story to tell, and that's not okay. So it sounds like Sigh was looking at the geotag on the picture to find out that he lived in Connecticut, which is also really funny.
It's just that, like, but like, Sai's logic is so warped. She's like, it is her story to tell. We just gossip about it behind her backs, but on camera, she has to tell it on camera, you know? And so Aaron's like, but you said that she said it on camera, so it doesn't even matter. And Brynn's like, yeah, she said it on camera, like you. And then she's basically pointing. They're all accusing each other of like spilling the beans on camera.
Right. And so she's like, yeah, Aaron, you said that. So she points at Aaron. And so it's like, oh, really? I said she's dating someone in Connecticut on camera? And Aaron goes, oh, well, that part wasn't on camera. She goes, you said it was on camera, Aaron.
Sai's like, it was not on fucking camera. That's her business. That's her story to tell. You don't fucking do that. Fuck you, Brynn. Have a good birthday. Fuck you. Fucking asshole. I'm out. I'm like, you're not out. You're caught. You're caught.
You're
right
caught. Now. Yep. So this is what Sai's like when she's just 100% wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I want nothing to do with Brynn. Absolutely nothing. I feel like I let Uba down and Brynn let me down. Fuck it. I hate willow trees now. I'm never sitting on a bench again. I have no sisters.
Yeah. So Uba's just like, I'm out. She doesn't. So Uba leaves, and Brynn is like, first rule in Circle of Trust is don't break the trust. And Sai, Aaron, and I talked about certain things, and that's understandable. Like Sai lost her shit and thinking that I had broken the trust tree, but like I hadn't. Like I had just drunkenly mentioned a U.S. state, like dropped on menu Connecticut. That's all.
So Sai catches Uba outside, and she's like, I am so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. You know, that was not fucking okay what she just did to me and kind of you, but mostly me. And back inside, Brynn's like, for the millionth time, okay, you didn't stick up for yourself, Jessel, so do it. Yes, she did. For the millionth time, she did stick up for herself. She doesn't have to walk around making up reasons for people to fight because she has absolutely zero life of her own, like you. Leave the woman alone, for fuck's sake. Go do something.
This was the rare Real Housewives moment where one woman screamed at another woman. And then the second woman turned to a third woman and did not say, you didn't stand up for me. She said, you didn't stand up for yourself. Like, wait a second. This doesn't make sense. The phrase is supposed to be, why didn't you stand up for me? Not, why didn't you stand up for yourself right now when you weren't being yelled at?
Wow, so interesting because they're just trying to, it's like they're trying, and you've got to give Brynn credit, right? First of all, I think Brynn's really entertaining and fun to watch, but God, she's just trying so hard to make something happen when it's not going to happen. I mean, who does that at a birthday? The very last thing in the season finale, it's their birthday. They're literally all standing in a line, like performing to a camera, like, okay, let's talk about reasons we don't like each other.
Listen, a messy Real Housewife will do that. So I applaud her. I feel like Brynn sees the things she has to do, but she doesn't always execute the way I want her to execute. And I think that like if she does come back next season, I feel like there's hope for her to like she will have observed herself. Brynn seems very, very smart to me. And I think that she will have observed and been like, okay, less of this, more of that. And I think that she could come back and be really good. Or if she comes back and is doing the same shtick, then I'll be like, okay, you're done. But she is, because like honestly, I can't sit here and be like they don't do anything on this. They haven't done anything on the season, and then get mad at Brynn for at least trying to create something interesting at her birthday party with this messy ass moment.
You know, I mean, I think she's super entertaining and everything. I think they've all got promise. I think the show has a lot of promise, but it's like the key word in what you just said is trying. It's try.
It should come naturally.
Hard. Yeah, it's like they're trying so hard to make something happen, and it's just not the chemistry. I love the idea of the redo. I love that they did it. I think the casting's not great. I think they need to just work on it. You know, keep half, recast the rest. But I did laugh a few times at this finale, and I think overall it was pretty fun. We've definitely seen worse first seasons.
Yeah. Not many. For me. Not many. Not many worse, but we have actually seen worse first seasons. So we get like a little we get a little update.
Brynn
Sales.
goes, yeah, a year from now, for my next birthday, I see myself in an apartment with one little cupcake and a little candle because I have absolutely no friends anymore. But I'll probably be the governor of Connecticut, so go CT.
Yeah, because everyone basically leaves her party. So sales of Uba sauce are hot, but she's still cold on the idea of an investor, and the only man she wants investing in her life is Mr. Connecticut. He recently crossed state lines to meet the other ladies.
Oh. And Aaron moved, changed neighborhoods. Pavitt and Jessel are happy. And I never write that. I never write that.
Sai still has her mom's ashes, and Jenna has a girlfriend, and Brynn is freezing her eggs in Switzerland to store her eggs where the rich store their money.
That's cute. And that brings us to the end of Real Housewives of New York City. We've got a couple reunions coming up, so we will be back for that. Thank you guys so much for being with us. If you want these on videos, Crappens on Demand on Patreon, and we sure love you guys. Talk next time.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Erin McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg. Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters. Nancy Cease and Desisto.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch. It's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.